Thank you for the answer. Next, we have Annette France.
Pauline, ANEP France. So first we would like to thank you for your work during this year. You said in your suggestion there is probably a lot more to be done in terms of harmonization and unifying different procedures, especially between regions and even interportfolios. Sorry, do I have to put it like that? Or? Yeah, okay. And even interportfolio structure names and the whole combination system. So can you elaborate on this and what are the most important issues to consider and how can it be like improved or solved? Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. We have a point of order by IPSF Exco.
Sorry, I have two. What? Okay, I have 2 point of orders. First of all, remember that we have. Sorry, Kishan IPSF Exco. Just a reminder to the floor that we had a procedure to limit the question and answers to just 1 minute each. So that means the questions that you give has also need to be within 1 minute. Otherwise, we need to cut you off. Okay, that's all. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have We have a diary by APHASP.
Maria, APHA-ASP. Again, thank you, Mr. Osama, for your report and for your work during this mandate. I also wanted to comment on your suggestion regarding communication and kind of build on that because, as you mentioned, I think that's an opportunity, and I think I found that to be something that was somewhat lacking this mandate. So, how you plan to work with your predecessor or your successor to improve on this? Thank you.
Thank you. Osama, please. Time. Thank you. Time's over. Next, we have on the list IFL Portugal. We have a procedural motion by BPSA. That's
Daniel, BPSA UK, would like to propose to close the floor for discussion.
we
Thank you.
have five. Yeah, it's seconded by ASEP Algeria. Those who are against this motion, we have one against. Test, test, test. Two. Two against. Those who are for this motion. Okay. Okay, motion passes. Now, test, test, test. Thank you, Sama, for being here and present your report. We are going to proceed to voting procedure. For those who will be with the voting cards, so I first will ask those test, test, those member organization for test, test, for accept the report. Raise your voting cards high, please. Now, I would like to ask those member organization against to accept the report. Those abstaining, motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Sama. Your report has been accepted by the IPSF General Assembly. Congratulations again. Can we have next motion, please? Motion 21. This is 68 IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the President-elect 2021-2022. Please, can we switch the screens, please? We have Mrs. Ryan online. She will present her report. Please, you have 3 minutes.
Just a side note, I have already sent a video in anticipation of technical issues, or do you want me to present it?
We will play a video. Sorry, yeah.
I believe it's okay. I can proceed with just presenting since like I believe the connection is fine at the end of the RC as well. So I can just present if you feel more comfortable with that.
Okay, you have 3
I'm
minutes,
sorry?
please. 3
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, good morning, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Brian, and I've been serving in the past year as IPSF president-elect. And regarding my annual report and the progress we have made this year when it comes to the president-elect portfolio, we've been focusing on three different areas. The first one was optimizing the operations and the governance of the federation through providing support, consistent monitorship, and evaluation, and also promoting accountability. In this area, we've done much. Tasks, mainly when it comes to policy, setting the plan, following up with the different projects have in place, finalizing or writing the policy statements whenever needed, executive committee, especially during EM1, with providing different ideas of projects that can be implemented. The second point was enhancing and refining IPSF capacity building, and I've been working hand in hand with PD chairperson. We've delivered many workshops, and we held many LITs like APRO LIT, Euro LIT, Paro TDC, etc. But the main progress we have made is creating IPSF training 102, 101, and 102 that has been advanced training to the IPSF team at the beginning of the mandate. For the third goal, which is increasing visibility of IPSF and strengthening our partnerships, we've also done great work when it comes to that with different partners, mainly FIP, and they've represented IPSF in many webinars and many events like Youth Forum 2022, alongside, of course, with IPSF external good relations with our student partners like IFMSA and IFSA. We also made sure to address new topics and new projects, what is the case for Rare Disease and Orphan Drug Youth Summit, where we will be able to work with new partners, opening new doors for IPSF, such as ISPOR. We had also Rare Disease International and many other, like also Sanofi, when it was one of our speakers, and Eurodis, Core, the Nord, etc. So we partner with different organizations. This is like a brief introduction or a brief summary of what has been done. I remain at your available for any questions, and yeah, so time is up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan, for presenting your report. Now the floor is open for discussion. Same first, ASEP Algeria.
First, so far, as for Algeria, first of all, thank you, Ryan, for your presentation and for your effort done through this mandate. My question is, as you know, the president-elect position is quite a diverse position. What are your specific plans for the handover to be as?
Thank you for the question.
I
Please,
did,
Ryan.
I did.
Did
I did not finish the question.
Sorry, please finish.
So thank you again, Ryan. My question is, as you know, the president-elect position is quite a diverse.
Okay, so if I heard right, you're
Sorry, so as you know, the president-elect position is quite a diverse position. How are you planning to realize a very smooth handover in order to include?
So regarding my plans for an effective handover to my successor. Sorry.
We will try to call Ryan because her connection apparently it's struggling. So please 1 minute.
Can you hear me? Omar, are you able to hear me?
That's
It is weird because I have quite a stable connection. Omar, can you hear me? Do you mind confirming? Yes, I can hear you, but nobody is speaking actually.
that's. Ryan, did you
Yeah, yeah.
listen Asepa's question?
Yes, so Asipa's question
Please,
was about, yeah, do you want me to start answering?
please.
Cool. Thank you so much. So basically, my plans for a smooth handover, especially as you mentioned for the president-elect, it is really important that my successor has enough knowledge about all the portfolios because they will be involved in all. As secondary assistant passing from the outgoing to the incoming executive committee members, and everything is going as planned, and everyone has enough knowledge to perform perfectly. Thank you so much.
Thank you for. Okay. Next, we have a direct by Asepa Algeria.
Recording in progress.
I believe the issue is with. Was not able to hear the delegate.
Okay, Ryan, can you try speaking?
Okay, can everybody hear me this way?
Point of order by IPSF Exco.
Kishan IPSF Exco, we are trying with the microphone close to the phone, so can we have extreme silence? We are trying this, okay? Thank you. Okay, Ryan, you can speak.
Okay, so regarding Asipa's question, regarding the handover, what my plans are, okay, I'm hearing my echo. So my plans are mainly to organize a series of like meetings or handover meetings with the rest of the execo to ensure that the information is passing correctly and fully from the outgoing execo to the incoming execo, and I'm planning to attend myself along with the president-elect to be sure that my successor has all the information needed, not only from me, but also from each execo member, because they will be providing assistance and support to these execo members.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have a direct by FFRMX Mexico. Do we have Could you please repeat, Asepa?
Test. So if I was Algeria, I said my question was more directed to the handover plan for regarding the training committee, not just the overall exco. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Ryan, please.
Okay, so I will answer what you said, Kishan. So regarding the training committee, it is important to have handover meeting with not only myself, but also the PD chairperson and the training coordinator, because the three of us were not just involved in that, but we have led different projects throughout the year. And it is important to, in order to pass the full information to the next president-elect, to have the full picture or the full opinions from the three of us. And this is the plan for the handover when it comes to training. We're also planning to send out a survey to the trainers in order to know what were their feedback regarding this mandate, what can they envision as an improvement for the next mandate, and we will proceed from that, developing ideas together and planning for the next mandate.
Thank you for the question. Next, we have Fefarmex Mexico. Please.
Yes, my first is a clarification for give comment is a new comment, right? Or is Derek?
You have a direct.
But for not for question, it's for a comments about the report. So it's direct
Please.
or is new? For
Yeah, if you could you please register as a new comment, please? If you.
okay, drop and
Oh,
I have
drop.
a new
Okay.
comment. Drop and
Yeah,
I have a
thank
new
you.
comment.
Could you please? Next, we have on the list IPSF Lebanon.
Maria Unsi, IPSF Lebanon. Thank you so much for your presentation first. My question is, this was the first year where the training portfolio became part of the responsibilities of the president-elect. My question is, what added value did this change make, or what advice do you give to the next president-elect about this portfolio, especially that the PD chair, he or she might not have prior training experience? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Ryan, please.
So I believe you don't really need an experience as a trainer in order for you to do great in a training portfolio, because thankfully we have everything sorted out in guidelines and manuals that are accessible not only to the members but obviously to the executive committee members and the training coordinator. So we make sure that everyone knows the procedure, the rules, everything before starting a mandate in order for them to start a solid plan and a solid implementation of their ideas. So this is the power, I believe, of IPSF, is inputting everything into guidelines and direct procedures, clear procedures, in order to pass it from a generation to another. And this has been done because we have the different guidelines for LIT, for the trainers, for everything. And yeah, I believe this will be an assistant to whoever manages the training portfolio for the next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Next, we have APEF Portugal.
Denise, APF Portugal. We would like to congratulate you. Oh, yeah. Sorry. We would like to congratulate you for your work. We would like to understand your suggestion to consider holding it online. Was this suggestion based on events happening in all regions or in a specific region? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Clarification by IPSF Exco.
Sorry, Kishan, IPSF Exco. Denise, can I just clarify? You're talking about the training online, right? Can you just repeat your question, please?
Denise, APF Portugal. I was asking about the leaders in training, since it suggested that it should be like considered to be held online. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so basically just to clarify, I haven't said that the trainings shall be online, but I mentioned that the guidelines are already made and the training coordinator, the PD chairperson, the president-elect can read through them in order to have detailed information before handling the portfolio. However, when it comes, or also to address your question regarding the online initiatives when it comes to capacity building, I believe we've done a great job regarding that this year because we held different LITs and even a TDC online. But in my opinion, it shall be reassessed, the added value of this training when it comes to the online setting, especially that the world is going back to normal now, and we can have offline initiatives, which in
Test.
more beneficial.
Sorry, Ryan, can you last sentence?
Okay, so I was saying that in my experience as a trainer, I believe that since the world is going back to normal, we don't have to limit our activities or capacity building activities into just the online settings, simply because offline settings for capacity building have more added value to the trainee. And,
Sorry.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have on the list CCPSA Czech Republic. Please.
Dominika CZPSA Czech Republic. We wanted to ask if you could elaborate on the reasoning behind the postponement about of the rare disease and orphan drug summit and your plans how to implement the successful event in the future. Thank you.
Thank Mrs. Ryan will rejoin the Zoom session, so 1 minute. Ryan, can you hear us? She is joining. Can you hear us?
Now I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Uh, Czech Republic, could you please repeat the question, please?
Dominika CZPSA Czech Republic. We wanted to ask if you could elaborate on the reasoning behind the postponement of rare diseases and orphan drugs youth summit and your plans for future to implement successful event.
Thank you for the question. Ryan, please.
Thank you so much. So regarding the summit, it has been planned in like it planned to be held, I believe, in May or something, and then we had to move it to September because of the availability of some of our high-ranked speakers, because they are on vacations during that time, and they prefer to move it to September for their availability. It is important for us to have the best speakers we can, and many of them apologize just because of the timing. So we have discussed with them the organizing committee to push it to September in order to have these speakers. And this is what we will be doing. We'll be following up with them, trying to finalize the organization of this event. And I believe it will be a great success, especially that we are addressing an area that hasn't been addressed before in IPSF and that is very new and up to date to the pharmacy world. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have IFL Portugal.
Valeria IFFL Portugal. First of all, we would like to congratulate you on your mandate. We would like to ask if you can elaborate more about the outcomes of the IPSF team training 101 and 102 capacity building sessions. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Ryan, please.
Okay, thank you so much for this amazing question. So this was a new initiative that I made sure to implement this year, where each year we had feedback from the participants that especially those who served for more than 1 mandate, they are like, okay, I already know this information. It's too basic for us, have more or go more in depth. So this is what we tried to do in providing 102. That was more portfolio specific and more in depth when it comes to the information we are sharing about IPSF rather than the general one. And individuals were quite satisfied with the content, and I believe it helped. It helped them in their performing their tasks during the mandate. I hope I answered your question. This is like the feedback was collected from a feedback form later on.
Thank you for the answer. We have a procedural motion by AFOP Austria.
Annika of Austria, we would like to close the floor for discussion.
Do we have a seconder? Seconded by FFRMX Mexico. No. Okay, clarification by FFRMX Mexico.
I want to. Can we have translation for my comment? For my clarification, if possible?
Sorry, we have to proceed to the voting on the procedural
Oh,
motion.
or in English, no problem.
No, we, okay, we are going to proceed to vote on the procedural motion to close the floor for discussion. Those who are against? Thank you. Those who are for this motion? Can we please count? Okay, motion passes. Can we please clean the system? We're going to proceed to the voting procedure on the acceptance of the President-elect report. So I would like to ask those member organization for accept the report, raise high your voting cards. Yes, thank you so much. Those member organization against to accept the report. Motion's carried. I would like to congratulate Mrs. Ryan for your report being accepted. Congratulations. Can we have next motion, please? Okay, motion 22. This the 68 IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the Secretary General 2021-2022. He is online. Can we switch the screen, please?
Hello?
Okay, Isaac, you have 3 minutes, please. Could you please start?
Hello?
Okay, Isaac. Isaac, can you hear us?
Okay. Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Can I get confirmation that you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us? I think. Okay. Isaac, can you hear us?
Okay. So you can hear me. I will start. So to the General Assembly, thank you so much for this opportunity to present my report. I have everything outlined very perfectly throughout the report, so I will just go straight to the final remarks that I had and read it from the report. Working with the IPSF all these years has been nothing but a complete joy. That is probably another statement. I have loved every bit of being the Secretary General of our beloved Federation, and it's a bittersweet moment for me to be speaking about handing over and moving on from the position. More than anything, I have learned and grown in this position, and I like to think I have impacted a lot of people in the position. My experience in IPSF has given much meaning to the adage, if you think you're too small to make a difference, spend a night with a mosquito. Age, race, gender, sexual orientation, economic or health status should not be factors that hinder our strive for development and to make a difference. One would only compromise their credibility and self-worth if all one does is to complain and or criticize without doing anything about the problems that we see. Our recommendations are vital in the smooth running of the Federation and is why all hands are needed on deck to achieve the IPSF that we all hope to see in future, even if it is after we are all done and retired. As the popular Latin quote goes, facta non verba, deeds, not words. I will leave you all with the encouragement to contribute to the advancement of IPSF through whichever means you can. No effort is too small or negligible. I cannot bring this chapter of my IPSF journey to a close without thanking the two IPSF executive committees that I have worked with on both mandates. If I have ever been able to see far, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. Thank you to the General Assembly for trusting me with such a yeoman's job. My two CWCs led by the ever-radiant Yelena and the incredibly hardworking Danny. I doff off my hat to you. To the CPs, SEOs, IPSF team members, individual members, HLMs, alumni, and the entire membership at large, thank you for tolerating my constant barrage of long and error-riddled emails. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Maya Angelou. To the now and all things pharmacy, viva l'amour, viva la pharmacy. Thank you, Gia.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac, for
I don't
your
know if you guys
report.
can hear me, but thank you, and I'm hoping for your questions.
Isaac, can you hear us?
Isaac, can you try?
Oh, I can hear now. I can hear now, actually.
Oh, thank you. Okay, the floor is open for discussion. First, we can see on the list. There's direct. No, no. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. We are going to start with ASEP Algeria.
Test. So, Swipe for Algeria. First of all, thank you, Isaac, for your presentation and for your hard working mandate. My first question is in regard to the annual report template. Many felt that it does not really encompassate the work that was done by the EXCO throughout the year. Can you explain to us why did you decide to go with that specific template for this GA? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Isaac, please.
Thank you for the question. So this template is what we've been using for the past couple of years. I think dates back to about 5 years now, if I'm being absolutely correct. Since 2018. Is that 5 years? I think 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And basically, the whole point of the template is to reduce the amount of information that we put across because we've been providing with monthly updates every month. So the assumption is that a lot of the work is already summarized in our monthly updates, and to not overload CPs with a lot of information, we try to keep our points succinct, straight to the point, and very focused on the annual plan that we had. So essentially, if you had an annual plan to do X, Y, Z, you yeah, I think my time is up. But it's basically to put
Time.
across
Yeah.
the work we
Sorry.
already had.
Next, we have a direct by ASEP Algeria.
Yes. Safradas Algeria, thank you for first question. As a direct comment to it, I would like to know if you ever thought this template needs to be updated or changed in any way or form. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Isaac, please.
Yes, I've never thought we need to change this personally. I don't think we need to change this template because, like I said, it encompasses everything that we have worked on during the mandate, in my opinion. However, if the GA feels there should be more information, we can add that. And maybe if the GA will be specific with which information they think we should add, then that would be great. In my opinion, I think what is in the report should suffice for the work of EXCO. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Next, we have on the list LPSA Lebanon.
Maria Unsi, LPSA Lebanon. First, thank you so much for your presentation and congratulations on your mandate. My question is, what are the most edits and suggested changes you did for IPSF official documents? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Isaac, please.
For changes to official documents, for the past mandate and this particular one, which we have drafted and put in the in the GA folder, I contributed to a number of the points that have been approved by EXCO. So what we do is we suggest changes to EXCO, and then EXCO considers them, and then they vote on it, and it's presented as a unanimous suggestion for changes from EXCO. So I would have to remember the specifics, but basically we did a lot of technical changes. We had CWC include some motions enforced in the changes as well. And then along other like issues about membership and all that we had changes for, I proposed. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Next, we have on the list KPSA Iraq. Dropped. Next, ASEP Algeria.
Test. So I've got us Algeria. Thank you, Isaac, for your first question, for your first answer. I would like to know what were the major problems that you encountered in doing the IPSF library and what made it a daunting task to actually finish it. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Isaac, please.
Thank you for your question, Asepa. Major challenges. I think the first one was because I didn't have a clear handover with a clear plan as to how to achieve it. So it was sort of very huge. I had some input from different alumni, different past EXCO as to how to go about it, and we had a plan. There were some plans that EXCO did not think were the best approach to go, so we had to put a halt on those as well. But my suggestion for this online library, I think, is to include other members from other portfolios, and then also from an MO like KMPSV, the Netherlands, to help with like the scanning of documents on the ground, and also forming an ad hoc committee with people from MNP to investigate which platform to put it on, whether it would be good to use Google Drive, whether we have to buy something new, or we use the website that we have currently. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have ASEP Algeria.
Maria Malina, ASEPA Algeria. First of all, congratulations for your mandate. So my question is, how are you planning to do the handover in the best way possible? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Isaac, please.
Thank you. So mainly it's going to be through meetings, through a live call on Zoom. We will have at least 2 meetings, mainly one for administrative work and the second one for GA specific roles, or like SecGen specific roles. And then also I'm going to deliver a handover documents, which I've started drafting already, with specific like passwords, specific guidelines, specific steps to undertake stuff for my successor. And then hopefully I will be with them, hopefully in the next mandate as well. So across the mandate, I will be assisting them throughout.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have ASEP Switzerland.
Valentine Asaf Switzerland, first of all, thank you very much for your report. We wanted to know if it has been communicated with you that the public health department had the impression that when the deadline for handing in the reports was communicated, that they already knew that they won't be able to meet the deadline. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Isaac, please.
No, I'm not aware of this. The deadline, like I sent an email and asked for everyone's input. It was not stated that this would be a difficulty. But yes, I did state a deadline in the email. I stated that people should limit. That's one thing I was saying about the template. People should limit what they were going to write so that they can be able to meet the deadline. And the deadline was about 3 weeks. And there were extensions for people that requested for it. So that was factored all that into my plans to share the GA folder as well, because I knew that GA had already pointed it out, the previous mandates, that they wanted all reports in the GA folder before hand and not after. So that was why I told the EXCO all of that. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Seeing no new comments, I close the floor for this. Do you have technical? Or that's your point? Yeah, we have a procedural by IPSA. Procedural motion by IPSA Lebanon.
Maria Unsi, IPSA Lebanon, procedural motion to close the floor for discussion.
Seconded by IPF Portugal. Those against this motion? Test. Motion carried unanimously. Now we are going to proceed for voting procedure. I would like to ask those member organizations for accept the report. Please raise high your voting cards. Thank you so much. Those against to accept the report? Those abstaining? Okay, the report was accepted unanimously. And congratulations, Mr. Isaac, for your report being accepted. Can we have next motion, please? Okay, motion number 23, DSD 68. Test. DSD 68 IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the Treasurer 2020. 2023. Please, Kishan, you have 3 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but since my report has already been uploaded to the folder, I just want to say that it has been a pleasure to serve as the treasurer for this mandate. As most of you may know, my mandate is actually 2 years, so this is my first year, and I'll be continuing in the second mandate with the new executive committee for the next year. I wouldn't say it was a smooth mandate. There were ups and downs everywhere, but I did try my level best to work out all the kinks and deliver as best as I can for this portfolio. You can read my work in the report, and I just want to say that I am really, really grateful for this, to be able to serve in this position. I'm really grateful for my team, the executive committee, and I'm going to say that I'm really going to miss you guys, working with you guys, but I'm also looking forward to working with the new team in the next mandate. That's all I have for my motivation. Thank you very much. I would like to receive your questions now.
Thank you, Kishan, for your presentation. Now the floor is open for discussion. Please register yourself in the system. Seeing some, we are going to start with ASEPA Algeria.
Test. So I've got ASEPA Algeria. Thank you, Kishan, for your rather short motivation, and thank you for your hard work throughout the mandate. My question is, you mentioned that you encountered few hiccups this mandate. Can you just elaborate on this point and tell us if these hiccups are accountable to be repeated each year or just specific to this year? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Kishan, please.
Thank you very much for the question. Okay, one major hiccup that I was always encountering was the hiccup in regards to my email and also the entire Google Workspace. But this is not unique to me. It was also affecting a lot of other IPSF team members and executive committee. So emails are not being sent out. A lot of CPs were missing my emails. It was insane. The other hiccup was in terms of the banking system, because I'm not a Dutch citizen, and as you know, we are registered in Dutch. We have a Dutch bank account. Okay, so these are some of the things that I went through. I can
30 seconds.
I can elaborate more if there's another question, but to answer your last question, most of the issues have been resolved, and I'm confident that these will not repeat in the next mandate. But if it does, I will continue to work on them with the rest of the team as well. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. We have a direct by IPSF Algeria.
Test. So I've got us Algeria. Thank you for your answer. I would like just to know, since you mentioned that since you are not a Dutch registered citizens, it created some problems, right? Can you elaborate what those problems were? Thank you.
Thank you. Kishan, please.
Okay, so thank you for your question. So when the treasurer hands over to the new treasurer, we have to go and get ourselves registered at the bank and also the Dutch Chamber of Commerce. Me being not a Dutch national made it difficult for me to travel there and also get myself registered, because I have to present myself physically at the at the bank in order for me to get registered. And because I do not have a Dutch identity, I have to use my Malaysian passport. Well, the main issue was the delay. It took me several months to get me registered with the bank, but I am finally registered. So for now, it is okay. There's still some issues, but
30 seconds.
It is okay now. I have made this into a point that I will definitely make sure to hand over to my successor in the next mandate to ensure that whatever registration was done before the mandate started. But the thing is, I was elected after the mandate started and the third round of elections. That's why that's also accounted for the delay. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have IPSF Switzerland.
Valentine, IPSF Switzerland. First of all, thank you very much for handing in the report. We have a question regarding the website. This year we have encountered many problems, and we think it's not acceptable that such a big association like IPSF has problems with their website, especially being globally present. We wanted to ask if IPSF has the capacity to enhance their financial matters for the maintenance of the website, and yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you for the question. Kishan, please.
Thank you for your question, Valentine. I believe the current budget that we have for the website is sufficient, and based on the expenses that we had this year, we have not gone over budget for the website yet. The main issue with the website is with our website provider, and because no one in the executive committee has any website major IT related knowledge on it, we are stuck with trying to understand how the website works with the words of our service provider. And to answer your question, no, I feel like I do believe that the budget is sufficient for the moment. We are trying our best to fix the website as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishan. We have a direct by IPSF Switzerland.
Valentine, IPSF Switzerland, thank you very much for your answer. Seeing that IPSF is growing constantly, and you mentioned that the EXCO or no one on the board has the knowledge for these problems, would it be the moment to maybe include someone professional, as this is not acceptable to have such problems with the website? Thank you.
Thank you. Kishan, please.
Thank you, Valentine. We the executive have mulled over that idea for a while, but we have not made any decision about it at the moment. But we will take that into consideration, because yes, we agree with you that this is a major issue and we need some professional help. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, Kishan. We have a direct by FFRMX Mexico.
Jarin Gonzalez, Fefarmex Mexico. The same thing about the issue that Switzerland talks about. Um, what is uh, what is your opinion? You know, you have another year, and is it possible to the next year? So we go so as IPSF pay for some service because it's very difficult that our page, you know, all these association here pay for have a very good service, and we don't have even include a good web page. So you have one more. I think we will have one more year, and this will be a very big issue because we need to resolve it. And I think if I want to ask if we are financial, we have the enough money to pay for that, to pay for have a good service.
Thank you for the question. Kishan, please.
Thank you, Harim, for the question. I will make this a point to discuss this during the first test. I'll make this a point to discuss this during.
Test. Test. Thank you, Harim, for the question. I'll make this a point to be discussed during the executive meeting one, when the new mandate starts. Thank you.
Test. Thank you, Kishan. Next, we have a diary by Capsi Canada.
Farah, Capsi Canada, thank you for your report. I just wanted to know what are the actions that have been made regarding the website. Maybe this question is not really up to you, but I think you have like some knowledge that you can give us. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Kishan, please.
Thank you, Farah, for your question. Yes, you're right. Maybe this question would be more suited for the chairperson of media and publications, but I'm part of the team, so I understand. I mean, I do know some of it. I was not involved majorly in part of it, but when the finances came into the question, I was there. For now, we have managed to, and executive, please correct me on this, migrate our servers to the servers being hosted by the service provider, which is Typify. So they are 100% involved in managing our servers. The issue with the website currently is because there's a lot of things that needs to be updated. It was very old. It was being managed by another company before this, and was on another server. So because of the migration and loss of data, that was what is causing the website issues for now. But yes, that's all I can say for now. Maybe the chairperson can answer this question properly. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have KPSA Iraq.
Sava, KPSA Iraq, thank you for your presentation. So what recommendation would you provide for the upcoming treasurer or IPSF regarding the transfer of membership payment from the member organization to the IPSF? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Kishan, please.
Thank you, Sava, for the question. Okay, so currently we have two modes of payment for all membership fees. Either we use international bank transfer or PayPal, but most countries, especially those in the Afro and EMRO region, they do not have either one of these options. Some of you may know that I recently sent out a survey to ask about what are the alternative payment options that have been that are available in your respective countries. I have not gone through the survey results yet because it was close to the GA, so I was prepping for GA. But I still do have that in mind. So I will try to go through that survey to try and see what are the options that we can implement for everyone, and at the same.
Time's over.
Sorry.
1 minute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Next, we have on the list IFL Portugal.
Valeria, FFL Portugal. First of all, thank you for your report. In your report, you mentioned you investigated the possibility of introducing different modes of payments for members to pay their fees and other payments. Can you elaborate more about the outcomes or the conclusion about your investigation?
Thank you for your question. Kishan, please.
Thank you. You just allowed me to finish my previous comment. So yeah, so like I said, I haven't gone through the survey results yet, but I will do it once the GA is over. But one main alternative mode of payment that we want to introduce is to have a credit card or debit card terminal, which after communicating with many CPs, we realized that this is very available in all the regions, especially the regions who are having payment issues. So, but that would require me to communicate with the bank our bank in the Netherlands, and I will, when the first mandate starts, I'll try my best. I mean, when the next mandate starts, I'll try my best to go to the Netherlands to sort out all these issues and communicate with the bank. I will be there physically. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have IPSF Egypt.
The EPS of Egypt. We have first of all, thank you for your report. Good luck for your next year. Regarding the question, we have received the SEP grant call several months, and for now we still didn't receive the result. So when it is expected to receive the result?
Thank you for the question. Kishan, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dua, for the question. Because compared to the previous year, we have received an overwhelming amount of 120 responses for the SEP grant. And yes, me and the chairperson of SEP, we are trying to finalize the results as soon as possible. Before the end of August, we will definitely release the results. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have in the list BPHD Germany, dropped. Next, RPSA Lebanon.
Thank you so much for your presentation. So IPSF follows the World Bank ranking of the countries. However, some countries are facing serious economic circumstances that are being reported to IPSF for more than 1 year, like the case of IPSA Lebanon, for example. So what could be done to resolve this problem, and will it be possible for IPSF to have its own database and ranking for the countries based on their economic status? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Kishan, please.
Yeah, thank you for the question. The reason why I'm not too knowledgeable about this, but I can conclude that the reason why we follow the World Bank ranking is to make sure that we have an equal opportunity for all countries to pay their fees and join them and join on with their in terms of the economic status. But I do understand that may come as a disadvantage to some countries. I don't think I don't think it's feasible that we have our own ranking, because we do not have a guideline for it. The World Bank is a professional body. We want to follow. We want to make sure we follow that. But we can discuss this in the next mandate. But for now, I would say it's a no. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. We have a procedural motion by AFOP Austria. Please raise your motion.
Annika, AFAP Austria, we would like to close the floor for discussion. Thank you.
Seconded by Czech Republic. Those who are against this motion, we have one against. Okay, those who are for this motion, motion carried. We are going to proceed to the voting procedure. I would like to ask those member organizations that are for accept the report, please write high your voting cards. Thank you so much. Those who are against accept the report. Those abstaining. Okay, congratulations, Mr. Kishin, for your report being accepted unanimously. Can we have next motion, please? Okay, motion number 24 the 68 IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the Chairperson of External Relations 2021-2022. We have the Chairperson of External Relations online. So you have 3 minutes to present your report. Please start.
Okay, thank you so much, Omar. So, just to confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, dear official delegates taking part in the 68th GA Live in Hurghada, Egypt, thank you very much for allowing me to present my annual report as the IPSF Chairperson of External Relations for the 2021-2022 mandate. First of all, kindly accept my kindest and humble apologies for not being able to attend the World Congress this year due to the unavailability of renewal passports and applications for visa here in the Philippines, as well as with my conflicting and contradicting university academic schedules for my ongoing midterm year exams. So prior to my presentation, exactly a year ago in front of the 67th GA was my main plan and aspiration as a potential chairperson of external relations was to actually bridge IPS and also aspire to reach out to the new ones, to the new potential external partners and sponsor this mandate. So this year, I would say that IPSF had the most diverse external opportunities within the transition of the face-to-face in-person events as well, and also past and new external events opportunity, which runs from webinars and forums as well as that we usually attend to the new assemblies and conferences for our IPSF member this mandate. That was also new and also available for our IPSF members throughout the mandate. This year, we have internally planned, we will be coordinating the due changes that we see will be beneficial for the external relations portfolio, such as within the structure and also with the mechanism that will not be only helpful for the IPSF Exco or the team as well, but also within the regional offices as well and with the member organizations. So upon improving the quality of the external relations this year, we had a lot of restructuring and also reevaluation of our external related documents and materials. So during this mandate, we had the opportunities for our IPSF portfolio to actually collaborate with a lot of student organizations, professional federations, as well as with the sponsors that we had this mandate. So additionally, on behalf of the federation, I have accumulated about 216 hours of me working through external related representation, meetings, and also with the initiatives I have and as counting. So also we have successfully initiated an open contact list for both student and professional organization. This was not, for example, in the previous year. So this year we would be able to actually save those progress that we had, new initiatives that we had, and it will serve as a reference for the new upcoming chairperson of external relations. And finally, I would be very much humbled to say that this mandate was the most active externally within the healthcare student organization at the international level, especially to the things with the three Ps, pharmacy education with their interprofessional scientific research and internship plans, as well as to
Sorry to
with the
interrupt. Time
interprofessional
is over.
initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul, for your presentation. Now the floor is open for discussion. Okay, we have first on the list, Accept Switzerland.
Valentine ASEP Switzerland. First of all, thank you so much for your work. There were indeed many opportunities created of the external portfolio. However, we do not quite agree with the formulation that it has been the most active there ever was, because numerous opportunities have been shared with MOs on very last minute, like on the same day. Therefore, we do not understand how the activity has been that high from your point of view. Could you throw us some data on how it was that we have had high activities? Thanks.
Thank you for the
Okay.
question. Paul, please.
Thank you so much, Valentine. So this is in coordination, for example, with the past external related initiatives that were initiated, provided, as well as with what was being done with, for example, in collaborations with. So, for example, this year we had we had engagement with almost with the UN initiatives that we had. So this includes like side events with the UN, also with the WHO side events that we had this year. and also with the external opportunities that we have provided this mandate. So I would also agree as well. There is very much need for a reconstruction on the provision of the external related initiatives, especially for those last minute. So that would also be something to be considered as well. And also within the past initiatives that we have provided, that was also in the past that we were also doing this year, and also opening up for new external opportunities such as within the UNEP as well, and also upcomingly with the UNFCCC. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have a diary by CCPCA, Czech Republic.
Dominika Zizit, PSA Czech Republic. So what are your suggestions for the reconstruction so such deadlines don't happen again? Thank you.
Thank you for the
Okay.
question. Paul, please.
Thank you so much for your question. So, in regards to this, I believe we will be starting to actually line up within the common and like the usually provided external events and opportunities that IPSF usually have. So, within this, we are planning to start out on listing all of them and also coordinating who are the potential contact lists that we can actually coordinate with. Since, for example, this year, the initiative as well, it really depends as well with the external partners that we have for example within the UN DESA. So with that it really depends on them on how long will they provide the opportunities as well. So hopefully there would be more coordination, more in-depth planning within our external partners in the upcoming mandate as well, and also internal preparation as well for our upcoming mandate for the next 2022 to 2023. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. We have a point of information by IPSF Exco.
Intention CHPPH, point of information for of the member organization that some of the UN events and they release information at the very last minutes. For example, WHO, WHA released 1.5 weeks before the WHO launch. UNEP also launched their events 3 weeks before the events launch. Therefore, some of the information it's really hard to be shared. Sometimes we have different focal points for different external events. For example, PH is responsible for WHO and UNEP and UNFCCC. External is responsible for UN ECOSOC and other UN Women events. Therefore, sometimes it's hard to coordinate between two different portfolio because of the UN also released the information very late. It is really hard for us to give a member organization enough time to submit their application.
Thank you. We have next on the list a diary by ASEP Switzerland.
Valentine, ASEP Switzerland, thank you very much for your answer. We have a question regarding, you mentioned that it is highly dependent on our partners that we have. However, would it be possible to have some kind of contracts with them stating that they need to share the information by a certain time as they profit from us attending their events, because we will probably their future new employees? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Paul, please.
Thank you so much, Valentine. So, as for now, I believe it is somehow can be discussed with them, but in terms of contract, I'm not sure it will be very feasible to do. But it is something that we can coordinate with the next external chairperson. So, really, for example, if we can actually request for like a longer time as well. So because it really depends on, for example, their organizing team or like within their committees on how long will be the gap for like opening up external related opportunities and also with events. So I believe as long as we coordinate on what we had in mind with them, so that for example, like as a favorable criticism or as a favorable constructive criticism as I was meaning to say. So yeah, I think that would be possible as long as they will also be willing as well to coordinate for for a longer external related opportunities for us to apply as well in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Thank you for the answer. Next, we have ASEP Algeria.
Test. So I'm Karatas Algeria. First of all, congratulations on your hard working mandate, and thank you for your presentation. So my question is, in regard to the external relations state of affair, in regard to IPSF, can you tell us briefly, I guess, the state of it with external collaborators? How are our relations with them, and if there are any urgent matter to talk about? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Paul, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your question. So I would start first with student organizations. So this year, I believe it would be fine to say that we had the most collaboration with student organizations. So, for example, this involves mostly with PH and PD collaboration with like interprofessional competitions such as with IBSA and IFMSA, and supposedly with IADS, and also with PH with ISOA as well, and also with IBSA for most of their campaigns. So this year was mainly we had good relationship with them, and also, for example, with the UN and WHO events with IFMSA, we had been their collaborator for a long year and for a long time already, and we had good relationship with as well with them. And with professional organizations, it's also with that we had good relationship with them. I would say in recommendation that we should have more of a stronger relationship communications as well
Sorry to
with, for
interrupt.
example,
Time's
with
over.
FIP. Thank you.
Next, we have a direct by ASEP Algeria.
Test. So I've got as Algeria. Thank you for your answer. As a direct comment to it, I would like to know what are the it's the same thing, the state of affairs of the non-health external collaborators that non-health related external collaborators that we have. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Paul, please.
Thank you so much. So, for example, we had what we called as the IFISO, or the informal forum for student organizations within the international, also with the regional level. So, I believe we had a fairly good relationship with them. So, during the second half of my mandate, I was actually meeting them as well. With, for example, the forestry students, the political science, and also with mostly the member organizations that were mostly active in IFISO during our conferences. So we had a good relationship with them, and it's good to say that we can actually coordinate as well projects and also initiatives that we as a youth organization can actually collaborate with, such as capacity building programs and trainings and projects. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have IFL Portugal. Oh, sorry. We have a procedural motion first by FEFARMEX Mexico.
Yes, Harim from FEFAR Mexico, procedural for closest discussion.
Seconded by ASEP Algeria. Those test. Those against this motion. Okay, motions. We have one against. One against. Those who are for this motion. (29-4), motion carried. Now we are going to proceed for voting procedure. Please, I would like to ask those member organizations for accept the report. Please raise your voting cards high. Those who are against to accept the report, please raise your voting cards. None. Abstaining? We will have to repeat. We have one vote missing. So please, against those member organization for accept the report, please write high your voting cards. Those who are, thank you. Those who are against accept the report, abstentions. Seeing none, the report has been accepted unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Paul.
Thank you so much.
Can we have next motion, please? Motion 20, 25th. This the 68 IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the Chairperson of Internal Relations 2021-2022. You have 3 minutes.
Test. Okay. Hello, everyone. It's very nice to see you once again. I just wanted to give you my short speech about my mandate. First of all, I just wanted to say how much thankful and honored I am that I was the first internal chairperson to actually work with CPs that then I was able to meet in live due to having events after the pandemic. I would say that my favorite part of working with you who are CPs in this room was our CPs meetings. I was very genuinely surprised how active you are and how many things you have to say to us and how quick you are with your feedback, which was always a great help in my work. I would also like to say that my mandate was in a way a prolongation of my organization membership coordinator mandate, because together with my coordinator we were working on many applications for membership organizations. We also had a program that I really enjoyed. It was strengthening the incorporation of newly accepted associations. I have to say that I am very surprised and I am very happy with the outcome, because many associations I saw grow in our federation. I also got to meet few of you, which is absolutely amazing experience. I just have to say that I think there is much more to one of my aims for this mandate, which is working with alumni. I feel that there is much more potential in that topic, and I gathered as much feedback as possible during this mandate to hand it to my successor to help her or him have a successful mandate. And sorry, and my last point, I would like to say that also under my portfolio there are events, and that 3 last months before General Assembly went on my work on World Congress, since it was quite rapid and quite sudden, and I really hope that I am living to your expectations, to what you expected from me as internal chairperson. Thank you very much.
Test. We are not already open the floor for discussion. Test. Oh, thank you, Natalia, for your report. Now the floor is open for discussion. We are going to start with ASEPA Algeria.
Test. So I've got as well Algeria. Thank you, Natalia, for your work throughout this mandate. I think all CPs can attest to it, and thank you for your presentation. My question will be directed to the internal committee specifically. What are the, let's say, advices you'll be given to your successor, specifically related to the internal committee, and maybe the difficulties you had with them this mandate? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Natalia, please.
Thank you very much, Asepa, for your answer. I actually have a very specific, for your question, I have actually a very specific answer to that. I think that the best advice I can give to my successor is to try to find internal committee members who have been contact persons before. Of course, it's not a rule. It's like unwritten rule of internal portfolio to try to look for people who have experience in that scope. But at the same time, I would really recommend finding someone who was a CP before, because it's just fairly easier to work with them when they know what to expect during the mandate. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next we have IPSA Lebanon.
Maria Onsi, IPSA Lebanon. Thank you so much for your speech and congratulations on your mandate. So regarding the project accreditation form and moving to a new form after the mandate, we hope that the main reason for the problem point out how will it be avoided in order to ensure the success of the new form without having the same issues popping out during the next mandate? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Natalia, please.
I'm not sure if I understood the question, but you are asking me if the project accreditation form will pose the same problems in the next mandate.
Maria Onsi, IPSA Lebanon. How will you avoid this to happen again? Thank you.
Please, Natalia.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. So maybe to just give you all a bit of a background, what is actually going on with PAF. This form is fairly old. Okay, it's not old, but it was created in 2017, meaning that from that point we have over 4,000 answers to it, and simply Google Forms didn't expect having this many answers to one form, and linking it with the device that we use for report generating doesn't work anymore. What we will do, we'll just create a new form with a new backup, which means we'll have lots of space for your reports, and I will advise my successor to just take a look at this. If it's still working, it should not be a problem, because I've been creating similar forms throughout the mandate and they've been all working. It's just a matter of space and the fact that the form is fairly old. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have ASEP Switzerland.
Valentine, ASEP Switzerland. First of all, thank you very much for your work during this mandate. We wanted to ask you in regarding the the awards. How did you experience during this mandate the role of those actual awards? Were they helpful towards the motivation of the CPs, or more causing competition between the CPs and leading to some active CPs not feeling appreciated enough? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Natalia, please.
Thank you very much for your question. This actually is an amazing question that I really hope to have. Basically, what I can say is that we cannot really judge Federation as a whole. We have so many CPs that I can say that we experience everything. We experience CPs who got more motivated due to the awards criteria. We experience those that may have felt that they won't meet them, so they might as well not work. We experience those, I think, like in my personal opinion, also those who might get a bit competitive over them. But the bottom line is, I think that awards criteria are the good way to show them what we expect from them, and they tend to just work a bit more efficiently thanks to releasing them fairly early in the mandate. So that's the bottom line. I think they just motivated them a bit more.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have APEF Portugal.
Denise, APEF Portugal. Firstly, we would like to congratulate you for your work during the mandate. We would like to understand what strategies were or could be implemented regarding the lack of response of alumni in order to improve their engagement with the Federation. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Please, Natalia.
Thank you, APEF, for your answer. Yes, this problem was occurring the whole mandate. And what I can say is that I think the problem was being too generalized in approaching them. I think the good strategy for the next mandate would be approaching them individually and seeing if it's working. We tried doing this year too. It didn't work perfectly, but at least we got some answers regarding our activities. I would also suggest maybe trying to avoid accepting as many alumni as possible to the association. I know that it sounds like it's counterproductive for the portfolio, but at the same time, if we had situations that we accepted tons of alumni and then they went missing after a few months. So that's the strategy. Don't overdo it. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have a direct by ASEP Algeria.
Test. So I've got Algeria. Thank you, Natalia, for your previous answer. Regarding the alumni, would you like to maybe give us some advice on how to keep them involved in IPSF and not having them lose interest? Yes?
Thank you. Please, Natalia.
Clarification.
Yeah, clarification.
I just want a clarification. Are you asking about keeping them involved in IPSF from my side as internal chairperson, or keeping them involved in IPSF from your side as member association, like as a CP of member association?
As both, if possible. Thank you.
As both. Okay.
Yeah, Natalia, please.
Thank you. Thank you for the floor. Basically, when it comes to IPSF, it's, as I said, it's fairly hard to make them active since they are all usually graduates. They finished, in a way, their journey with IPSF. So what I would advise, once again, is contacting them individually and assessing what is the problem, or maybe not a problem, but what is the issue that they cannot be active anymore. When it comes to your member organization, I would really advise trying before, like, during your mandate, to see who is going to graduate soon, who is going to finish their journey with member organizations, and simply approach them and ask them if they are planning, if they have a wish to still stay active.
30 seconds.
As I said, there's no point into making people stay just for the sake of staying. It's much more efficient and better for us to ask and see which of those, who of those would like to stay and be active within IPSF.
Thank you for the answer. Next we have KPSA Iraq.
Salva, KPSA Iraq, thank you for your hardworking mandate. My question is, the CP forum was not functioning for a while and the majority of member organizations faced difficulty in submitting their reports, especially before the regional assembly, as it happened in last mandate as well. So what suggestions do you have for the future internal committee regarding the CP forum? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Please, Natalia.
Thank you for your question. Basically, what I have to also say is that CP Forum is also linked to our website issues, and this already has been raised. And as long as I'm trying to keep it working in regards of internal portfolio activities, I don't have too much influence on how it works on the IT side. I have little experience in that, like very little, and I tried my best, but it isn't working that much. What I would suggest to my successor is maybe, like after we resolve our issues with website whatsoever, maybe try to moving it separately from our main domain, so CP Forum remains independent from our issues. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Next we have a direct by ASEP Switzerland.
Valentine ASEP Switzerland, regarding the CP forum, during the mandate we have seen that a bunch of member associations have shared information that has been considered from our side rather redundant, because mostly they were about Instagram posts or smaller activities, which is not the main purpose of the CP forum. Do you have any recommendation for the future internal portfolio on how this can be minimalized? Thank you.
Thank you. Natalia, please.
Okay, I will try to answer it as quick as possible. Okay, so 3 ways, and I hope I don't forget any. First of all, I cannot really influence on what CPs would like to share, because this is basically the point of them sharing their activities. We don't want to discourage them to do that. That's why we cannot really say, hey, don't do this. It's not nice, because it won't work. Second of all, and I'm already forgetting what I wanted to say, but second of all, this was the point of the awards criteria, shifting the focus from quantity to quality. And honestly, in this mandate, we
30 seconds.
We saw in our pointing system that many CPs started avoiding posting as many activities reports as possible. So I would say that's the third point to my successor, to try to make it very clear what kind of posts we would like to see, that this is federation that is based on our fight for our future as pharmacists, not on Instagram posts. So this will be my advice, to try to make it very clear during CP's meetings.
Time's over.
Thanks.
Next we have a direct by BPSA.
Daniel, BPSA UK. Just following on from the points that have been made, have you had any direct feedback from CPs regarding activity reports? And if so, would you please be able to share it? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Natalia, please.
Thank you very much for your question. Unfortunately, I have to admit that most of the feedback was lost. Hey, sorry, PAF is not working feedback. This was the main issue of this month. Test, and I'm utterly sorry for that we couldn't fix it on time. But at the same time, I have received some feedback regarding maybe the guidelines that are still not updated. This is my plan for the rest of the mandate after the GA, to take my time and do it slowly without a rush, to update project accreditation form guidelines, to make it very clear for everyone what we would like to see on CP's forum. Thanks.
Thank you for the answer. Next, we have Astipa Algeria.
Mariama Asepa, Algeria, thank you for your report and your hard work during the mandate. So my question is, how did you handle the non-active CPs? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Natalia, please.
Okay, thank you very much. This problem is a very complex one because it's very hard to actually deal with them. So what we tried to do, it's not complete yet because honestly it's very hard to collect this much data from each region, and each region works a bit differently. But what we did, we tried to assess why they are inactive. So basically
30 seconds.
we had three main reasons. First reason was simply them not being active. Like, this is their will, they are not going to be active. Second reason was poor handover from the member organization side, and solution for that is creating more meetings
10 seconds.
with explanation what we want them to do. And third thing was the lack of motivation.
Sorry to interrupt. Time's over. We have a procedural motion raised by AFOP Austria, please.
Annika of Austria, we would like to close the floor for discussion. Thank you.
Seconded by FEFARMEX Mexico. Those against this motion? Motion carried unanimously. Now we are going to proceed to voting procedure. Okay, we are going to proceed. I would like to ask those member organizations for accept the report. Please write high your voting cards. Thank you. Those against accept the report? Abstain? The report has been accepted unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
For now, we would like to Okay, we would like to assess this General Assembly. If you would like to have a break of 15 minutes, please green cards if you are agree. See majority green, yeah. Majority green, so we are going to proceed to close this session. May I have a proposer to suspend the standing orders? Proposal by IPSF Egypt, seconded by ASEP Algeria. Those against this motion? Motion carried unanimously. We can proceed to the roll call. Please, Kishan.
Thank you, Danny. The roll call to return voting rights. ASEPA Algeria, ATEP Tunisia delegated to ASEPA